Welcome to the KMC Collective Podcast, where the KMC team brings you practical insights, creative ideas, and authentic conversations for children's ministry leaders. Each conversation is packed with strategies to help you lead with clarity, build strong teams, nurture families, and stay healthy in the process. Whether you're planning lessons, training volunteers, or seeking encouragement for the week ahead, this podcast is for you. We hope to make you laugh, cry, think, and maybe a bit of all three in each of our weekly conversations. This is the KMC Collective Podcast. Let's jump into the conversation.
All right, and welcome to the KMC Collective Podcast. I'm Tom.
I'm Cole.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Vicki.
All right.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, guys?
Good to be back. Good to have everybody in the house around the round table. And all right. Well, hey, let's dive into this week's conversation. Cole, what are we talking about?
So this week, even at like my church, this is what I was thinking. I've got a ton of high school volunteers, and I've seen it in different Facebook groups and all that type of stuff of what do you do with the high school volunteers? What do you do with the student volunteers? Can they be leaders? Are they just helpers? Can you put it, what do you guys do? So I really felt like we should jump into that and have a conversation about it today. So teens in your ministry, what do you do with them?
Well, you brought the
Duct
question.
tape 'em.
I think you should tell us what you do with them.
Oh, is it what I do with them? Well,
Yeah,
first of all,
you bring it to the table. I want to know.
Okay. Well, first of all, if someone hadn't asked me as a teen to step into ministry, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair on this podcast with you. So,
Me too.
All right.
Yep.
I put them in leadership roles and train them up. I am not one of those individuals that believes that they just should be helpers. I've got multiple rooms in my kids' ministry right now that are, they're now in their 20s, but they all started as leaders when they were like 15 and 16. And I put them with an adult, but I said to the adult, I want you to let them lead. And so that's what I do is we shadow with good adults, and then we allow the leaders to step into roles and run rooms and, meet with kids and all of that, disciple kids, all those types of things. Because if someone hadn't said, hey, Cole, do you want to do kids? Let me show you what kids ministry is about. Let me come alongside you and teach you what to do. If he hadn't done that, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah, I hear you. Because, I think a lot of teenagers, they get treated like free labor. They just are the helper. You're right. They don't get asked for input. And like you, I mean, I wasn't even a teenager. I was 12 when I volunteered to do a Sunday night Bible club at our church.
Ben makes a good point. How many years ago?
How many years ago was that?
Josh, I'll reach over there and whack you. I mean, seriously though, I mean, we had a real need in our church for a Sunday night something for our kids, and the adults weren't volunteering, and so I went to my parents and said, "Hey, I'll do it." And they could have laughed at me, they could have said, "Oh, yeah, right, sure." But they, I had all the stuff. I had puppets, I had magic tricks, I had flannel graph, I had all sorts of things that I could pull out. And I planned 4 weeks of lesson plans, and then brought it to my parents and said, "Here, this is what I plan to do." And my dad was like, "All right."
At 12, you planned
at 12,
4 weeks
yes.
of lesson plans?
Yep.
I think he did answer that question by saying he had flannel graphs.
He had flannel graphs.
That's right.
Hey,
Don't mess
my
with the
mom
flannelgraph
still
posse.
has
The flannelgraph posse will come and
after
put flocking
folder.
all over you.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Flocking is
Sure.
worse than glitter. Let me just say that right out front. It gets everywhere. It's not fun. But I'm thankful that, and then at 19, I had some folks come and say, "Hey, we'd like you to come lead this ministry in Indiana." And I'm like, I'm 19. Nobody's going to listen to me. You're wanting me to train adults and do all this stuff? Yeah, right. Sure. So, so I see it, and so I'm hoping there aren't leaders out there listening that have that mentality of, well, teens should be seen but not heard, or they should be used. We don't really need to train them up that much. We give them a few snacks and they're good, right? I mean, I hope that's not what I at least after this podcast, I hope we're going to change some minds about why teens should be utilized. Because, I mean, yes, it's been 30 some years since somebody saw me and
Yeah.
did it. Yeah, Vid.
30 some.
Hey, there you go. 30 something.
30 some, 40.
Yeah.
But I agree. I was right there with you. Like I recall right out of college jumping right into church ministry. But it started before college, and it really did as a high schooler, being a major part in VBSs and working in Sunday service with the kids, and just that became who over the years, my identity. Like adults scare the mess out of me, but kids, because I've been doing it so long, it's natural. It's like, man,
It's where
I
Big Kid
feel
Ben
a
came up,
passion.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Adults, once you get facial hair, you can just you can make me nervous.
Uh-oh.
But in all seriousness, like I've been in ministry for 25 years or 26 years now, and out of those 26 years, probably 4 or 5 Facebook messages, emails, text messages from kids that were in my children's ministry that moved up into youth,
Ooh, yeah.
became a volunteer, and then at the end of the college decide, hey, it's because I was a part of something amazing.
Yeah.
And these are the words that come
Yep.
from, because you invested in me, because you
Yeah.
gave
Mm-hmm.
me like
That's the
something to
coolest.
see that was passionate, and something to say, you know what, you look like you were having a good time. I want to do the same thing. And so I'm in ministry, or I'm going to be a pastor, or I'm working with kids. And it's been like 4 times. And then, like, as a children's minister, 20 some years in, see, not as much as Tom, um, looking back and saying, you know what, I just did my job. But when I brought a kid in, now I'm starting their story. I'm part of their story. Um,
That's
and
very cool.
for me, I go back even to my children's director back in the day, and the way that he presented Bible stories, I think, and really sparked my creativity to do something
Yeah.
amazing. Like I want to bring it alive. When I preach or when I do anything, I have an object in my hand because he had an object in his hand. So as a leader, we have that opportunity to set an example, but we also have an opportunity to spark an interest
Yeah.
that could last a
Yep.
lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
my personal ministry, like, quote that I hold on to for all these years has been, my goal in ministry is to make memories that will last a lifetime. Because if I can create a memory in children's ministry, if I can show them how fun serving is, if I can show them that getting up on stage and singing or dancing, even playing a guitar or a drum or whatever their passion is, man, like, that is the beginning. And even if you're terrible, it's an opportunity to, like, I did
That's right.
this, now I'm going to become better so that I can keep doing it. And man, it's just so fun to watch it on the flip side of this, because like 4 kids, who would have thunk I'm that old?
Yeah, right.
I love that. I love that. What I hear in this is someone gave us all a chance,
Yeah.
every single
Mhm.
one of us. And the amount of kids who are now impacted for the kingdom because of this is just amazing. And so we are to do the same thing over and over with our teenagers. And yeah, that's not just by letting them do the little things, it's giving things away.
Yep.
I will often say age doesn't note leadership.
That's right.
It's like what qualifies them is if
Mhm.
they can do it. If they can do it 60% of what I can do, then I'm giving it away. And I know there's probably somebody out there going, okay, but I need to have like two adults to open up classrooms. So then you have that teenager in the room. So are they really, what are they doing? And I will say, if you're in that church that you need two adults to open a room, right? That third person who is a teen, they're still a leader. They are an
Absolutely.
equal. And I know at our church, we put teens through the same training we put everyone else through. So I'd love to
Yep.
find out what you guys do because when I talk to different churches, sometimes they don't even have the same training. And that
Yep.
tells them that
Very
they're
true.
less than.
Yep.
So I'm like, I'm going to train you. You're going to fill out the same application. I want to know your same five treats that you like. We are investing in you from the very beginning. And that begins with training you and equipping
Right
you
on.
to do the work of
Hmm.
ministry. And you can see it in them because they're like, I get to go to training.
Oh yeah.
I I get to step into this. And often they are the leaders in the room because
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
they just rise. And right, everyone on this call, we've had that where we've been given leadership. I've been given leadership time and time again before I was ready,
Yep.
Hmm.
and a lot
Oh
of it
yeah.
when I
Hmm.
was very, very young. But I'm like, man, guys, give it away. Let them lead. And if you haven't seen high schoolers lead some elementary kids, they're rock stars for
Oh
those
yeah.
kids. Like they look up to
Hmm.
them in ways
Kids
that,
Absolutely.
love them more than they love us because they still
Yeah, I
got
was gonna
hair.
say kids love them way more than us.
uh-huh,
So
Oh yeah.
absolutely.
100%. No, Vicky, you had said, what is the training? And so it's the same. So if you tell me, hey, I want to serve in kids ministry, I'm going to have you go shadow for a couple weeks and make sure, you tell me what age and all that and where you want to serve.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you shadow for a couple weeks. It's the same training for my high schoolers, but I have, and actually it's not a but, it's and I have strategic volunteers that I stick them with. Or I actually, interestingly enough, I had a former volunteer moved up into middle school, took his boys through middle school, and then as they all became freshmen, they started serving. He came up to me the summer before and he goes, "Hey, what room can me and my boys take over? Because
Oh
I want to
Go.
teach them how to serve."
yes.
And so he comes
That's
in with
good.
his high school boys. There's like six of them. And every week before they come in, he sends them a text message. You're taking this activity, you're taking this activity, you're taking this activity. Sends them, make sure they have the
Empowers them.
lesson.
Love
They
it.
go over it. I mean, and these boys are, I mean, as you talk about, they're rock stars. Like they're 15 years old. I could separate them. They're 6 months into this. I could separate them out and have them all leading rooms at this point. They know exactly what to do. They know how to run a room. They know how to speak with authority to, well, they're with kindergartners. They know how to speak with authority to 5-year-olds. And they're really good at it. And so
Oh
it's
yeah.
finding those strategic, it's for me, it's the shadow piece, but finding strategic
Mhm.
leaders to stick alongside them that have been further down the road so that they can just, weave in their wisdom, all the stuff that they've done over the years. And so they can just build them up, show them what to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
and expand that ministry.
Because I think a huge mistake leaders make is lowering the bar.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
because then it really truly becomes you're sending the message informally that, well, I'm just looking for bodies in the room. I'm just looking for
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
bodies to
Mm-hmm.
help. And so if you lower the bar and the requirements to serve, that's exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get
Mm-hmm.
students who will call off more than adult volunteers. They won't show up prepared. They won't have looked at the lesson plan. And I've seen churches do that where unfortunately they're not doing the training with the students and they're just, and I feel like with students, I mean, yeah, they do require a little bit more training,
They
but you
do.
train them
Mm-hmm.
to get them confident in their leadership ability and and then you raise that bar up to say, look, I know you can do this and I see something in you. And I think that's again going back to each of your stories and my story. Somebody saw something in us that we didn't
Mm-hmm.
even, I mean, trust, I did not see when I got invited. I mean, I started helping in our Bible club in our house. That's how I got started at 12, because my parents did a Bible club in their home for years growing up. I would bring my friends home from school. We would do this Bible club. And then eventually I started helping my mom. And then our local missionary saw what I was doing and said, "Hey, why don't you come and present a lesson in front of our adult training?" And I'm like, "No," but I did it. And it was after that they went, we have this training program. It's 2 weeks. It's intensive, and we want you to come to it. The problem was that I was too young for it at the time, and it drove me crazy because they made me wait because they said I didn't meet the age requirement. And I'm like, I'm ready. Let me at this. But I'm so thankful that somebody said something. They saw something in me. And so one of the things I've tried to do in every church I've been at is to raise that bar and to give my students, like I had teenagers running my worship team. They ran the rehearsals. They ran the tech people and told them what to do. I sat in the back corner on my computer, never said a word the entire time. Now, afterwards, I would debrief with them. Hey, what'd you guys think went well? What didn't go so well? What would you do different at the next training, the next rehearsal? And we would debrief. That's all I would do. And every once in a while, I would coach them up a little bit. But teenagers can do this kind of stuff. But you've got to raise the bar. You got to raise the expectation. You got to treat them just like the adult. Because if you don't, then they're just going to be a warm body in the room, and you're going to end up being more frustrated. They're going to cause more problems. They will become the problem child in the room, because I've seen that happen too.
I got a fun game for us.
Oh boy.
No.
It goes with this
We didn't
theme of
sign up.
tonight.
We didn't sign up. We didn't volunteer.
The
No,
fun
no.
game.
We'll be
Since Tom
voluntold.
started it, like I know there's a lot of leaders out there that goes, I just don't know where to put these kids. Like I don't know what to do. And I'm the same way. I got all these kids. What do I do with them? So I think each one of us pop out 5 different spots that you use kids in and then let's see who gets stumped first. Because I mean, I could keep going more than 5, but let's start with Tom, then we'll go Cole, and then Vicki, and then me.
Oh, I'm glad I get to go
5
first.
spots that you can put a teenager or a middle schooler in right now, this Sunday.
And we can't repeat, like once Tom says it, we can't repeat it. We have to come up with other ones.
Great addition to the game.
Oh, Vicki.
We're making this up as we go.
Vicki. I was
Okay.
literally just my answer was gonna be anywhere you put an adult, put a kid, a teenager.
Yeah.
But that would
If you want
That
specific
just
spots, we
defeats
can
the
play
game.
some
that would
specific-
cheat the
we can do
game,
that.
right? Okay.
All right, Tom. So you get to start. Go.
All right. Check in. Greeters. Those are 2 different jobs in my church. Check in, greeter, buddies for special needs kids or younger kids, tech, and worship.
There you go. Y'all are making it hard because I'm the last. All right, keep going,
Next.
Cole.
I'm gonna go small group leaders.
Yes.
Runners. So if a small group leader needs something, they can be a runner to run to the supply room and
Yes.
get something.
Good.
I would do host intro guys and host
Ooh.
outros.
Yes.
If they are mature enough, Bible story, but they have to show a level of understanding of what they're talking about, just not
Yep.
memorizing scripts and things
Yeah.
like that. They have to trying to think what else I
Yep.
have them in that Tom hasn't already said. Is this strictly Sunday mornings, or can I reach out to like VBS?
Go for it. You
We
pull
said
that
kids
card, that's
ministry. We
Mhm.
said
Yeah,
kids
so
ministry.
my biggest win for a VBS volunteer was, and I'm gonna miss him this year because he's back to college and he's doing an internship at police. I had a high schooler, since he was a freshman in high school, run the entirety of games for my high school or for my VBS, like 15 years old, telling 40-year-old volunteers what to do and where to go with their groups. Man, I'm trying to think what else off the top. I think that's all I got off the top of my head.
I think that was 5.
That's
You were
good.
going for 6.
I was gonna say I thought that was pretty close. Yes.
All right, Vicki, what you got?
All right, I'm going to start with our newest one that is just started at one of our campuses, and it's called the High Five Club.
Ooh.
So
What's
we
that?
have what you would say a waiting list for middle schoolers to serve. At our church, like you can serve in different areas, and right, we can only have so many teens
Right.
in certain classrooms. So we have a High Five Club. What is a High Five Club? So your goal is from the door to the classroom. So like as they come in, you're giving kids high fives, you're giving them knuckles, your elbows. We're so glad you're here. Yeah, just cheering kids on as they're coming in.
I
So
like that.
high five club,
Very cool.
small group leader apprentices.
Ooh.
How
Okay.
about using teens like to
There's a
replace
level.
yourself? Those teens who aren't necessarily ready for leading a group on their own,
Yep.
bring them in as an apprentice. And so then the next year you've replicated yourself and you've
Yes.
just given
Love it.
leadership away.
Love
it
it.
too.
For me, any high schooler that leads a small group, they have the first right to sign up to be the kids' leader at camp.
Yep.
So we have a lot of moms and people who want to go to camp and be
Yep.
with their kids. It doesn't matter what the age of that small group leader, they are the first one that I recruit or ask
good.
to come.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's that. Our special needs classroom, teenagers, there's a lot of schools that have buddy programs at school. So there's like buddies, right? Buddies, somebody said buddies in the classroom, but use them in your special needs classrooms as
Yes.
one-on-ones.
That's really good.
Yep.
And then I would say use your younger kids too for worship, like worship assistants, right? So everyone can help with worship, but that 6th grade boy, that 7th grade boy standing up and helping with preschool worship, I'm telling you, there's something to be said for it. So there's mine.
Absolutely.
Man, I thought I was going to get away with only having one of you say some of mine, but you had to pull out the worship card because when I jumped into ministry, I had some kids that just thought they were good at playing the guitar or playing the drums, and you just let them, and you'd let them do one, and then you let them, practice, practice, practice. It's kind of just a thing, and then they get up there and do it, and the kids see the bigger kids doing it, and they're like, man, they're a rock star. They're so cool. So I agree. But starting with preschool and just going from like little kids, rotate from room to room, and the little kids loved and wait for them to walk through that door. Like they're excited. That's the best part of church for them, is to see kids that are just a little bit taller than them, jumping around, singing, and high fiving them when they come into the, like they saw each kid. But I love the fact that you said the high five club, because um, I I like to meet kids at the front door of the church before they even get in, with somebody that's familiar. So if they're wearing a kid's shirt, like a volunteer
Mhm.
shirt, or we even have like mascots, whatever that theme is, we'll have them kind of deck out in that theme. So like if it's a superhero theme, we got them dressed up, or different things like that, because it connects the kid before they have to let go of mommy and daddy and cry for a little bit. They're feeling like a sense of, this is for me. I'm excited to get even further down that hallway.
Yep.
And middle school, high school, they'll put on a costume. They ain't
Oh
afraid.
yeah. Yeah.
Like we adults, like, oh, is it gonna mess up my hair, or I'm good. It's
What
gonna be a
hair?
little too tight for me to wear the outfit. But having them in the hallway, high fiving a kid.
Yeah, that's good.
And then one of the things that I started doing, I didn't do it a lot, but towards the end of ministry, was I had a high schooler, or like really upper class middle school, maybe 6th, 7th grade, that was really mature, follow me around. Hey, I need you to come here. I need you. So they're basically, hey, can you go grab that for me? But they get to see it in action. They get to see and feel important, because they're Ben's bought, like my assistant. You're gonna be running here and here, and you're gonna take this stickers to that one. But having somebody that's just right there beside you, beside Ben, that
funny.
was equally as awesome. But man, having them
good.
greet small group, camp, like the kids look forward to the time that they got out of camp, waited a year. This was their chance to come back as
Mhm.
a counselor or junior counselor. That was another level. They love camp so much, but now they're ready to be a JC, a junior counselor. And man, like you would think um, that they like teenagers, but they just want to come back to kids camp,
Oh
where
yeah.
they could be in charge
Mhm.
and do
Absolutely.
something like and stay up later than the curfew because they were in leadership.
Yep,
Yeah.
Um,
that's true.
I love they can be your best leaders because they've just come out of the ministry. And so they had somebody
yes,
pour into them and they want to be that, whether it's on Sunday morning or at VBS or at camp, but they see the benefit,
Yep.
which is so good. And we will hear that time and time again. I want to be, because we will ask leaders, why do you want to serve? And teens
Hmm.
over and over, because I want to be for someone what my leader
They
was
were
for
for
me.
me. Hmm.
Absolutely.
Like they are living out our mission. I'm like, all right,
but
Absolutely.
So
train them just like
train
an
them up.
adult.
you
Yep.
do.
In
I
Yep.
got a
fact, we
question for you guys though. What does
okay,
it
go ahead.
look like? Because we get high schoolers, but they got to come from the youth group. How do you guys partner with your youth pastor or
Hmm.
your next gen coordinator, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever that person is that's over top of middle school and high school? How do you partner with them so that it's effective in that transition to get them in? Like, what does that look like for your
Yeah.
churches and things like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good question. We have a really, really good relationship. And I think what's even more than just our student and children, our whole church believes in serving. And so it's
Hmm.
a culture that we build. And so we're all working with each other. And so we have a really good relationship with student ministry and teaching and talking with them a few times a year that like, do you want to do an invite? Not
Yeah.
an ask. Don't, we're not an ask. Can we invite them into serving with us?
Yep.
And I know
Hmm.
we're doing it this coming weekend in our student ministry where we are just asking and inviting them to a few different positions, right? And so I think the key we have at our church is that it's a serving culture. So it starts as
Hmm.
a culture. It's not just like we want to come and just talk about why we need bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah,
Yep.
I think that's probably the best way. There's a lot of other things we do, but that's probably the
Yeah.
best way.
Yeah. I mean, for us, it's yes, making an appearance into their student ministries and sharing what we're doing, but also, we have a very tight application process. And one of the things that students know is we're going to ask their small group leader, the youth pastor,
Hmm.
their opinion of this person's abilities and maturity to serve, and because we want their input, we want to connect with them. They also know that serving is a privilege, not a right.
Mhm.
And if they
Yep.
don't stay up on the requirements, if they don't show up prepared, or if they don't communicate with us, they're not going to be, just like with adults. I mean, I have to have those hard conversations with some of my adults. Hey, is this the right season for you to be serving? Because you're having a hard time showing up regularly, or
Hmm.
you're calling off, every time we've scheduled you. If a student's doing that, I'm going to call them out just like I'm going to call an adult out. But I think the students know that, again, this is a privilege, because it's easy when they come back from the big trips to get all wound up and
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
but then that fades really fast,
Hmm.
sometimes. And so we don't we time our asks, not to happen after a big event, a big retreat.
Mm.
We're
Hmm.
not looking. In fact, when students come after the big retreat, I'm usually, not that I'm wanting to throw cold water on them. I don't want to do that at all, but I do want to temper it a little bit. And again, they might be required to shadow a few weeks to make sure that they really want to serve there, because I think that's important. But for me, is getting that relationship with the youth guy or gal and say, hey, I'm going to need your recommendations on these students. Are they faithful in attendance? Are they showing some growth? What are they helping? Are they serving already? Again, because I don't want to take people away from him or her. I don't want to cause a pinch in the student
Yeah.
ministry.
Yeah.
But that seems to have worked well for me over the past few years.
Have you ever heard of ministry space?
Ministry space.
Um,
I don't think so.
not ministry space. Anyways, it's an organization that gives safety, like um sexual abuse training videos.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
No, I
man,
can't
one
think
of
of it.
those moments
I'm
where
blanking
you
it.
want that word to come
Yes.
to your head. Um,
There's a lot of Safe Search, I think, or no.
Ministry
Anyway,
Safe.
there is
Ministry
a
Safe.
lot of
Ministry
good ones
Safe.
out
Yep.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, they do a sexual abuse training, and having those kids watch that video, one, it says this is important.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching the same video adults are watching, but then they go in and go, I have a responsibility
Yeah.
of the
Mhm.
life of a child.
Yep.
And so all of a sudden, you see these kids, once they watch this video, to say, all right, this is important. Whether I'm sitting on the floor playing with babies as they're crawling around, or I'm up on stage, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
they
Mhm.
are a major part of our ministry. They're a major part of many of you that are listening to ministry. And I honestly believe that if you haven't yet, try it in 2026. It
Mm-hmm.
will change your church. I'm not just
Yeah.
talking ministry, I'm saying change your church,
Yes.
because these kids are going to grow up and make a memory that is going to last a lifetime. And by the time they're an adult, they will be serving in your church because of the memory that they made serving in kids.
Yep.
And it starts right there. And
Yep.
so, like, do it. Like, don't delay.
Yeah, do it
2026
now.
is today. Yeah, well, next Sunday or whenever
Yeah.
you get back to church. But, yeah.
Yeah. Cole, if you could encourage, since you started this, I'll let you land
Yeah.
it. If you could encourage leaders to where to start, give them one or two tips of if they don't know where to get it going, what do they need to do?
I think for me, the first conversation you have is bringing your youth pastor and next gen team on board. Like, if you feel like, man, we could really make a difference in our church by letting our youth serve in some capacity, getting everyone on board, getting your next gen team on board. And I think having the conversation with that person or those people, that's your first step. And getting what is it, what would it look like for you? What would it look like for your team to maybe shift how things are now so that you can disciple and grow youth kids for the future and for your church. So that for me, that's what I would say.
That's good stuff. All right, man, that's some good conversation. Can't wait to see what people talk about in the Facebook group, because we would love for you to continue this conversation. Share with us in the Facebook group. How are you utilizing students, kids, older kids, middle schoolers? How are you doing that? We would love to hear that and keep the conversation going. Or if you need help, feel free to reach out, schedule a clarity call at kmccoach.net and let us walk alongside you and have a conversation and problem solve and dream a little bit with you. We would be honored to come alongside of you with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap up this week's conversation. Again, be sure to like or subscribe to YouTube. If you're watching us there, thanks for watching. We're getting closer to 100 subscribers. We would love to knock that out real fast and get above 100. So like and subscribe there, or leave us a rating and a review on your favorite podcast platform. We would love to have you there. So, all right, guys, until next time, friends, I'm Tom.
I'm Cole.
Ben and
I'm Vicki.
hey.
See you later, guys.
See you next time, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, friend, that wraps up the KMC Collective Podcast for this week. Thanks so much for listening. If today's episode sparked something, an idea, a heartbeat, or a fresh start, drop us a line at tom@tombump.com or reach out on social media. We'd love to hear your story and keep the conversation going. Remember, you're not just doing kids ministry, you're shaping the next generation's faith with intention and care. Be encouraged, be creative, and take a breath. You've got this. Catch you next time on the KMC Collective Podcast.